Hey you guys, this is Jeff, Bookhouse boy, and I've had a lot of book hauls lately from the time that I was away in New Zealand, and I ordered a ton of books. I have a confession to make. Uh, I have one more haul, and it's not anything that I bought recently. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. So, short story. My wife and I were doing some cleaning this past weekend, and you know, clearing out the top shelf of a closet, as you do, and I found something. I found this. Now, before you judge, let me say that you know, 3 odd years ago, it was when I was, kind of really getting into BookTube, and I go through. I don't know if you guys do this, but I mean, I'll go through periods where I'll buy a ton of books, and then a year might go by, and I don't buy that many. And this was a period when I was catching up, and I was buying a lot of books that I really wanted to read, and so I did. And in my defense, I think that I bought a bunch of books, and I collected them over a little while so that I could unbox them with you guys, and so they were scattered around or stacked somewhere, and I think we had. I think we had some friends coming over, family coming over, and so kind of just like put them away, kind of tidying up, and then because I'm a moron, I forgot about them, and then I left the country, and so this is what happened. It's a sad state of affairs, but yeah, don't judge too harshly, because and the thing is that here's another thing that I'll say in my defense. I knew in the back of my head, I guess I knew that, wow, there's at least, I was thinking of at least one or two books. There's more than that here, but there's at least one or two books that I know I ordered, and I had the impression that I received, but I don't remember unboxing them. I don't remember seeing them. I know I haven't read them. So where are those? I gotta track those down someday. This is the day. They're tracked down because I'm an idiot. And so now we're gonna unbox them. So here we go. Has that ever happened to you guys where you've found a book or books? This one is from March 20th of 2018. So more than a year. It's just horrible. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I have nothing. I have no real excuse. I mean, but sorry. What are you gonna do? Okay. What do we have here? Okay. So, an old copy of The Picture of Dorian Gray. I had wanted to read this for a long time. I know the story well. Dorian Gray, fictional character of Oscar Wilde's, the kind of young debonair guy who seemingly never seems to age. And in fact, he's not aging, and that's because his portrait is aging instead. And it's not only aging, but it's showing and demonstrating in a physical, visual sense all of the debauchery that Dorian takes part in, so that he always appears just fresh as a daisy, and his portrait takes the bullet for him. Wouldn't that be something? But you know what's funny? I can't remember if I For some reason, I have the feeling that I ended up buying a couple of these. This is just a modern library version, but I remember really digging the illustration on the dust jacket here. This was actually one of the ones that I knew I had ordered, but for some reason I was thinking of something else. I may have looked, I mean, 3 years ago. It's a miracle I can remember my name, so I'm not going to remember specifics of a book I ordered 3 years ago, but I may have been thinking of another one that I was looking at online. This is what comes with, you know, being stupid and forgetting books that you've ordered for 3 years. Alrighty, next up, we got this guy. This guy is from April 16th of 2018. So this one just over 3 years. Boy. I'm gonna put the brakes on the book buying for a little while. Oh yeah, here's another one that I knew I had ordered. The Essex Serpent by Sera. I had heard a lot about this. Clearly something that, oh look, deckled edges on this new book. Very cool. And obviously beautiful artwork on the dust jacket here. This guy is Custom House, first edition, so very cool. And yeah, it was, I just remember, you know, yeah, hearing, so this is what it says on the back. Irresistible, you feel the influence of Mary Shelley, Bram Stoker, Wilkie Collins, Charles Dickens, channeled by Perry in some sort of Victorian seance. You know, how could you read something like that about this book and not want to read this book? It's impossible, so I'm going to read this. Alrighty, this one's light, very light. Ooh, August of 2018. Not 3 years old yet, so I don't feel nearly as bad about this one. It's not true. All of this is horrible, and a clear indication that I have a problem. I know it. It's all right. There are worse problems to have, right? I should be able to get this book out of here sometime this year, and we can check it out. There'll probably be a lot of that. Oh yeah. This haul, which stands to reason, given that these all must have sat in the back of my subconscious, or not. Yeah, so this one, a really cool old vintage book, and I'll get into this in the I Swear to You It's Coming vintage horror discussion that I'm going to have, and show off the collection. The Hungry House by Lillian Lafferty. I think I did not know about this book itself, but at some point I happened to see this artwork, this dust jacket somewhere, and just thought it was crazy insane. So this one, oh yeah, it's a tower mystery. Look at that guy. Oh, all right. The house stood high on a green ridge, a sprawling monster whose shuttered eyes watched while human sacrifices were made to appease it. It watched murder while men tried to put a name and a face to the murderer, and in the end, they succeeded. I don't know, but looks pretty damn cool to me. Alrighty, this one is from Goodwill. So, a date? No date, but if I had to guess, it's probably 3 odd years old. Okay, so sorry, 1 second. All right. So When You Lunch with the Emperor, another Ludwig Bemelmann's book. This one you can see is not that old, and for whatever reason, I think I had a hard time finding an old copy of this particular book. So this one is from 2005 by the Overlook Press. And this one is, I believe, as it says, The Adventures of Ludwig Bemelmann's. So, not so much one of Bemelmann's books per se. So this is just a collection of his works under the headings of childhood, work, play, and that kind of thing. So I don't think there is an older version to have, but this I thought was a collection that would be cool just in case there were some previously unpublished bits and pieces in here that I didn't have within my vintage Bemelmann's collection. So there we go. 3 left. The misery is almost over, I promise. Here's another one from April 16th of 2018. So just a little over 3 years. I have no excuse for, I work a lot, obviously, and I was, like if you've seen any of my prior videos, you know that I was out of the country for the better part of the last 2 years, but still, although really it's kind of a miracle that I found these at all, Right, yeah. Yeah, there was another one. I remember this. Anthony Horowitz, The Magpie Murders. So, this guy, another newer book, another newer book with deckled edges, which is cool. I guess that's a thing, or at least it was a few years ago when I bought these books. And this is one of those guys that I saw in a airport, as is the case with many of the books that I decide I want to read. But I think I already had 1 or 2 books with me, and I didn't want to buy another one that I wasn't going to have the time to read on that trip, and was just going to have to lug around. So I figured I'll buy it when I get home, and I did. So I went for a hardcover, which is nice. First edition, which is cool, and let's see, from the author of Moriarty and Trigger Mortis, this fiendishly brilliant, riveting thriller interweaves a classic whodunit worthy of Agatha Christie with an equally ingenious modern-day mystery that transforms the reader into detective. I think that's all I had to read. That and the cover art, which I thought was awesome. Sounds like something that I will maybe save for fall. Trying to decide. I don't know. Magpie, fall. But looks really cool. So this is going to go on the TBR list. 2 left, my friends. No date on this one. And it feels like a trade paperback to me. But let's find out. Now that's funny. So, it's no surprise to me that this happened. Vertigo. And it's, this is the original story which inspired Hitchcock's Vertigo, which is only funny because I thought this was going to happen in this stack, and then as we were getting closer to the end, I thought maybe it won't happen, but it did. And that is that I actually ended up buying another copy of this, having clearly forgotten, and yeah, having clearly man, oh man, having clearly forgotten that I had purchased this book and stowed it away in my vault of a closet. I bought another version a couple of years ago and ended up reading that one. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just a cool little paperback, and it is a cool story. And so this is something that I can give to a friend. So there you go. Alrighty, here we go. Final book. Oh. This one's from November of 2017. We're now close to 3.5 years that this has been waiting to be unboxed. How disgusting is that? I'm in trouble. I gotta pull it in. I gotta put the brakes on. And I will. I say that having just ordered a couple of books. Oh boy. Wow, this one could be interesting. It's very securely packaged. And it feels weighty. This may be the first book I've gotten that's hermetically sealed in a temperature controlled shrink wrap. Oh, there's a couple of books in here. Take out one first. Ah, nice. All right, so a really old, decrepit Jeff, but also a really old, decrepit version of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. If you guys saw one of my early videos, I think I talked about there's only one book that I have multiple copies of, only one, and it's A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's one of my favorite stories ever, and I read it every single year at Christmas time because I'm a goofball. And there are a multitude of versions out there, beautiful leather-bound versions, super expensive early copies. I tend to go for the most, I don't know, I find them really charming, just funky old copies that have a lot of character, which this one obviously does. Really cool printing job here. And what's funny, now I don't know that this is the case, but what I understand is that a lot of times when these printings and publications of something really popular like A Christmas Carol would occur, they wouldn't change the typeset from smaller versions that had been previously published. They would just print them on larger paper, and sometimes they would do it with these beautiful borders, as you see here. So very cool, and they're different. There's a variety of borders on there. A very cool inscription on this one. In friendship to Kathleen from J.G. Edwards, Highgrove, Christmas, 1923. The friends thou hast and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy heart with hoops of steel. Look at that. 1923. Super cool. So yeah, and I generally pay no more than $10 at the most for these old copies that I get. So that's cool. Final book in this package. Another version of A Christmas Carol. And this one is illustrated by Ronald Searle, which is very cool. So this guy, oh yeah, look at Marley there. Poor guy. World Publishing Company. It's a first edition from 1960. So I think I bought this one because I don't really have any illustrated versions. And I saw this one and I just thought it was, look, there's the fezziwigs. Yeah, just really neat illustrations. And in its original dust jacket. So yeah, beautiful little edition. That's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed opening up these books as much as I did. I know you don't feel the same shame that I do, but I know it's a disgrace. That's all right. Worse things can happen. And in the meantime, I've got some cool new and old books to check out. Till next time, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.